Hello, we are here for the live session with you today to interact, and if you have any questions then you can post them directly to me. So this is your time and I'm here to answer as far as my ability. So please start asking the questions. I hope so far it has been a learning experience for you, and whatever little I have tried, you may have learned something out of that. So please send your questions. We are waiting for your questions here so that we can utilize this time for mutual benefit. Keep sending your questions. Simply type it in and we'll be able to see it on our screen. Those who have been regularly following the slides or the lectures, I have tried to explain the concepts with examples. I hope that is sufficient. If not, you can ask for clarification even about those, the points that have been already explained. To some of you, it may not be that clear. So, if that is the situation, please send your question regarding that as well. I hope the announcement about the live session has reached you, and it's for your benefit that these sessions have been arranged, so that if there are doubts, if there are unclarities, you can seek to clarify those by asking the questions yourselves. So please utilize this opportunity. Is there anybody online? Ask. So we'll take it up, not in the forum, but it was posted in the Google form when the live session was announced. So this question is not directly relevant for the lectures, but it's more about the general knowledge. It asks, which are all the companies or the industries that follow all the ethics or maximum of ethical statements that have been determined in the ethical corporation course. I guess the person wants to know whether there are such companies or industries where you get to see the actual practices of what I have taught. The answer is that I have tried to give some live examples too. But in case you are still not satisfied, then let me guide you to various places where you can find such companies or industries. First of all, being an ethical corporation, I have tried to say it also that it is an ideal. It's an ideal. You keep trying. You keep trying to be the ethical corporation and you learn in the process. So it's not ever all or none situation. Namely, if you're not ethical corporation, then you're out and out unethical corporation. That's not the point. The point is that you have to strive for excellence in various aspects that I have already mentioned. So point number one, that several companies all over the world, they're trying, and they're trying very hard, and their efforts are recognized in terms of various awards, citations, and you know about them. Now, where would you come to know about them? If that is your question, then I have to point you to several places. For example, take a look into the GRI compliant companies, Global Reporting Initiative compliant companies, and there is a third party certification given to the corporations who are compliant and trying to be ethical corporations. The other place that you can get to see would be Dow Jones Sustainability Index. Every year they bring out a review of the annual DJSI standing ranking. They rank the corporations according to their effort towards being ethical corporation. So 2018 results are already out, and you can look them up yourself simply by an internet search. The 2019 results are going to be out today, 13th of September. So I'm yet to take a look at that, but you can also. Last year there were the Dow Jones Sustainability Index does it sector wise. For example, automobile, for example, oil and gas, for example, the fast moving consumer goods, and then they give the best ethical corporation ranking accordingly. I'm glad to report that last year one Indian company featured in Dow Jones Sustainability Index, and that was Tata Steel. So if you want to know such names, then you have to really do the research a little bit yourself. If behind your question there is a skepticism that there is no such company or no such industries, then I have to seriously ask you to do some research of your own, because there are examples, and these are notable examples that are global companies. So the answer is there are many, and you need to look into them, as I said, through various search databases. Yes, Neha. Hello, Neha. You've been communicating with me since the beginning of the course. So how are you? Happy to see you that you have joined the live session. Neha, this is your question, and she asks, now as we know the theoretical part regarding ethics in a corporation, but as a graduate joining a company, how can this be put into implementation, or how can we make others to implement it? Her question is that of a new entrant, that we have learned something about ethics now theoretically and also know the concepts, but when I'm a new entrant in a big corporation, then how can this be implemented? How can we see to it that it's implemented, or how can we persuade others, influence others to implement this? Is that your question? I hope I got you correctly. So there are two parts here of the question. One is how can this be put into implementation? The answer is that already people, as I said, people are trying. For example, the Sustainable Development Framework itself is an ethical framework, and several companies are working according to those paradigms. There are Sustainable Development Goals, what we call SDGs, and you will see different companies all over the world have picked up their choice of one of the goals or two goals, and they're working towards it. So it's not that nobody besides you know about it. A lot of corporations, in fact, they're aware about it and they're working on it. So how can this be put into implementation? The answer is, where there is a will, there is a way. It depends on the leadership, no doubt. It depends on the vision and the mission of the company, but several Indian companies as well as multinational corporations have put their heart into this. They're trying their level best to work at the social, environmental and the economic aspects equally with some values in mind. How can we make others to implement it? The point is that it's you alone, you have to understand, is a relatively small figure vis-a-vis the corporation. So it's not your place, or it's not your call to ask the corporation to suddenly become ethical, right? But and then again, ethical, it's not, it's in the practice, it's in what you believe in. So if the corporation already is founded on certain values, they may be traditional values, they may be contemporary values, doesn't matter. But if the corporation is founded on some values, then they will align their practices towards those values. If, for example, a corporation is environmentally aware, and they will try, first of all, to see how they can increase their operational efficiency without compromising the environment. So those will be the operational details. There are several corporations who work regularly and very meticulously on this. And then they can also accordingly change their product line. Their entire business model might be changed to fit into with the values. So how can we make others? The question is, it depends on the organization that you're joining. Try to talk to, now you have global forum. There are forum which discusses this sort of questions, ethical corporations. The premise there is that we would like to be a good company. So it's not about that we are bad and we want to be good and we need somebody to make us good. It's not that. They're all asking for better and newer ways to become better. They are already good, but they're trying to be better. So again, innovating the ways. I have shared with you some of those, that products can be really innovative, where you can serve the society, yet you are a profitable company. At the same time, your product does not leave much of a impact on the environment. So these are general directions in which companies have worked. So it's doable. Both. You can implement it, and also others can be persuaded to follow this. Good companies are not that rare anymore. Better companies are also growing in numbers. So I hope I have answered your question. If not, you can send more. Anybody else to ask questions? How many are online? Let me know how you feel about the course. Let me know what is in your mind. This is a thought sharing session, so feel free to ask this. You're welcome, Neha. I hope I have answered your question, but I understand your concern also. You feel that you're too small or too new for a corporation to have any effect at all. You don't need to worry about that. It's not one person's job to make a corporation good, worse, bad, or even better. It's not one person's job, and the corporation has an existence and an identity of its own. So if you join such a corporation, now that's a choice. You can join corporation A, you can join corporation B, that's your choice, but the culture of that corporation will also decide where they want to go and how far they want to go for what they believe in. So keep an eye on the profile of the corporation. With young people, sometimes it's a desperate case of getting a job, but maybe these days we have discerning people also who look up also the company where they want to work willingly. Just like we have talked about, socially responsible investors. So they don't put their money anywhere and everywhere, right? Similarly, we can all exercise our choices. I remember, Neha, that you are a mechanical engineer student, isn't it? What about the other students? Please send in whatever is there in your mind. In any way, we should have a nice chat since I'm here, because we don't get this opportunity every day. Oh, this is about, yes. Yeah, I remember, Neha, you were in mechanical engineering. Wish you all the best. in the years to come, and hope you find a vocation of your choice and be happy. Yes, hello Ankit. Good to have you online. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and then if you have any question. This is a question from Neha again, which is asking that, ma'am, since social media plays a huge role in marketing nowadays, what are the ethical principles involved there? I have tried to cover some of the marketing related ethical issues and how to manage them, right? In terms of advertisement, in terms of privacy invasion. If you're specifically asking about the media marketings in the social platforms, the cyber ethics related issues I did not want to bring in here because these are common. There's some courtesy involved. There is certain rules in the cyberspace, and we do have also laws regulating those. But in general, I think the ethical principles that are applicable in social media marketing have been touched upon. For example, the consumer privacy. Consumer privacy, as in the moment you write something, whether it's in the social media even which you think is rather private, you share some pictures, for example, or a little bit of a details, or you try to find out about some destination for vacation and so on, and immediately there are advertisements that pop up in your space.